Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and I am super excited for this video. As you guys know, in the past I have done 2 different Karity review videos where I talked about all their shadows, their blushes, their bronzers, their highlighter palettes, everything about that brand. I'm pretty sure I have reviewed almost everything. And this time around is no different because they did a recent release of their Unicorn Dreams palette and their Just Peachy palette, and I have swatched both on my arms for you. I'm sitting here like this because I don't want to accidentally rub them on my shirt or anything else. So this is me walking around like functioning for the last 10 minutes. Hilarious. So I did go ahead and swatch them. I obviously swatched them off camera. And as I always say, I hope that's okay with you guys because I swatch off camera because I think it's boring to watch people go, you know, 100 times, or in this case 30 times. That's a lot of screwing around. So a couple things I want to start by talking about. These are 25 bucks a piece, and you get, in this is the Just Peachy palette, which again we will do a close-up of in a second, and then Unicorn Dreams is more of like the fun quote-unquote colors, cool colors, that kind of deal. They are so beautiful. Like, I'm gonna get into that in a second, but it's just like the most fun pastel kind of world, and I'm living for this palette. It's a little less wearable than the Peachy palette, or Just Peachy palette, whatever, but super beautiful either way. The thing about Karity, if you're not familiar, if you haven't watched my other videos, they are known, or they are recently known in the beauty community for being super affordable. They actually, their brand, I should say, was born from this idea that you should be able to get luxury quality without paying a ton. And so that's when they created Karity. And I will say, again, these are 25 bucks a piece. They are newly released. I believe at the moment Just Peachy is sold out, but they said within a week or 2 weeks or something like that it will be back in stock. But this is their newest launch right here. There are 15 shadows a piece. They are a combination of mattes and shimmers, as you can probably tell. And I think that those are all the different specs. I do want to draw attention to this adorable unicorn on this package. Oh my god. Karity, that is just the cutest. I can't even. And then they list their shade names and a little grid on the back. And what else is there that we should talk about? In the past, I have always been a pretty big fan of Karity shadows. I've maybe met with 2 shadows out of the 15 palettes. No, okay, not 15. The like 6 palettes of theirs. I'm like trying to count them. But I have a ton of their palettes. And they're like frosted or shimmer shadows are flawless. They are ultra pigment. They glide on like a dream. They can have a little bit of fallout, but they are seriously so beautiful, and it's not bad at all, especially when you compare it to like high-end or, you know, the more expensive shadows. All of their packaging does come able to be folded back, which, as you guys know, is kind of a requirement for me. It also comes with a mirror. The one biggest pet peeve that I had recently was in the I Want Candy palette, that you couldn't like move it, and it drove me insane. So that's part of the reason I'm like, yes, you can fold theirs back, thank God. Now, if you have noticed, my face has everything on it, well, except lipstick, and except some eyeshadow. So I was thinking maybe what we would do, hop into some close-ups, go through the shades, talk about them, creamy, buildableness, all that good stuff, and then we will put some on the face, because let's face it, that's why we are here. So let's get to that part first. I'm gonna do the Just Peachy palette first, and then the Unicorn Dreams palette. So let's kind of get into that, guys. I'm so excited to put these on my lids. I've had them sitting like next to my beauty station for the last probably week. Like, I ordered them the day they were released. I got them here super fast, and then all these other releases came out and I haven't had time to swatch them. It's been so much. So let's go ahead and swatch, guys. Yes. First up, we have a gold shimmer shade in the shade Glow Up. A nude you can probably barely see on camera. Freshly Picked. Atlanta. Creamy. Cobbler. Juicy. Princess. Warm and Fuzzy. Organic. Totally Sweet. Delicious. Beautiful Reflect Orange. Oh my god. Sliced Up. Yummy. Yum. And Fruity. And that is the entire palette. Next up in the Unicorn palette, we start off with Pure, Secret, Hooves, Spark, Main, Magical, Gallop, Believer. Oh, look at those. Oh, yes. Sparkle. This one, I die. Look at that. Oh my god. Sky, Fairy Tale, Forbidden. Look at Mystical. Oh my good lord. Noah, and Forest. And that is the entire Unicorn palette. Ooh, girl, yes! Okay, you guys, so now that we got them swatched, again, I do want to talk a little bit about how they swatched. I always kind of do that. That way it's like you got the experience of, you know, the mind-numbing of watching me swatch, but like you didn't have to actually sit there and go, duh, for 10 minutes. These swatch insanely well. Karity shadows, in my opinion, are notorious for it. I have very, very rarely had an issue with them swatching. It's usually a matte shadow, and it's usually just a tiny bit chalky, but I've never had an issue with them going on the eye chalky. I've never had an issue with them being streaky, not blending well. As far as how they wear, creasing, blending, building, anything like that, I have literally never had one problem with a Karity shadow, and that's coming from someone that's never been paid to talk about them. Fun fact, I actually reached out to Karity and I was like, hey, do you want to let me review these palettes for you? And they were like, no, they've all been sent out to other influencers. And I was like, yep. You mean other influencers that haven't already made 2 great videos for your company? That's great, thanks. Because they're great shadows. And I was like, you know what? One day, Karity, I will be on your PR list. One day. I'm waiting. I'm coming for you, Karity. But until then, I had to buy them my damn self. And you know what? Honestly, I would have bought them anyways because they are so, so beautiful. And I was actually looking at them in comparison to a couple other shadow palettes that have been recently released. One of which being the Just Peachy Mattes by Too Faced. I recently reviewed this. It was, well, I don't know when this video go up, but it was sometime last week. And it's hard because I film every day and I upload like every single day, so comment, subscribe. But in this palette, by the way, the packaging of this entire line is freaking flawless. That is the one area, if you're looking at Karity, you're gonna say, oh, they're a little cheap, if you will. Their packaging is just like standard cardboard packaging, but it does come with a little mirror, which these ones come with a mirror. And I don't think, yeah, their other palettes actually don't come with a mirror, and that was one of the things that I noted in my previous videos, that it would be nice if they had. However, these other ones were $29, I want to say. These were $25, but you also got 21 shadows in these longer palettes versus 15, but these come with a mirror. So I think that they're kind of changing up a lot of things as I try to put that back without like you guys noticing. I'm like, ah! But that was really cute. But I think that as far as packaging goes, like I don't ever mind sacrificing a little bit of packaging if the product is amazing and the price point is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I spent $25 on each of these palettes, and just off of the swatches, they are way worth my $25, especially when you consider palettes like these, which have, how many shadows does this have? 4, 8, 12. Yeah, this one only has 12 shadows, and this is that Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. And I'm like thinking to myself, 12 versus 15, and this one was literally, I think, double or almost double the price. These were like 40 some dollars, I want to say. And I have a horrible memory, but expensive, not so expensive, but the quality on this is unbeatable in my opinion. Karity is like, to me, they are the affordable, and this is like, but by the way, Karity, if you ever watch this, this is one of the most high compliments I can pay you. I would put yours as like my alternative to a Natasha Denona. Like, you guys are that creamy and that blendable that you guys are my affordable Natasha Denona. And that's just to put, you know, anybody's name next to theirs is a pretty big deal for me because I'm obsessed with Natasha Denona. I have 3 of her palettes. Can't wait for the new release. There's no release date yet, but you better believe that I will sacrifice all my sleep to get my hands on it. So anyways, I started this sentence because I wanted to talk about this and kind of compare it, because obviously Just Peachy is the Karity palette and then this is the Just Peachy Mattes. So I was like, literally the same name, like Just Peachy by Karity, Just Peachy by Too Faced. So the only difference, obviously, Too Faced had less shadows, more expensive, better packaging, all that, but these are also all matte shadows, so you can't really 100% compare. But like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a ton of the same shades, or the same, you know, kind of shade concept, if you will. Now, I will say, like, there's a bunch of browns and, like, you know, this pink in here, some purples, and then if you look over here, you've definitely got, you know, a couple pinks. There's 2 up here, 1 down here. You've got 1 darker-ish purple, which is kind of, you know, the sparkly version of their sangria. You've got the oranges. I mean, overall, I think that if I had to compare the two, I haven't obviously used the Karity palette, but I think it's safe to say that it's definitely a better value. Not to take anything away from this palette, I actually really enjoyed it. But this is a mixture of shimmer and mattes, which is my personal preference. So that is where we are going to dive today. I'm trying to decide like which palette, because I wanted to be like innovative and fun, but like, let's be real, who does this not speak to? Everyone that wears makeup is like, wow, I love this. But then I'm like, but these are so fun. Like, look at how, oh God. Let's do it. You know what? I always do the Peachy palette. Let's go ahead and go in with Unicorn Dreams. I feel like this video is half like, let's hang out, and half let's review some palettes. You know what I'm saying? I think the first thing I want to do is take this shade right here. It's the shade Forbidden in the palette. I want to start dusting that onto the crease. It does have a little bit of shimmer, but not a ton. I'm going to actually use this mirror, I think. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. How about we actually prime our frickin' lids? How about that, Paige? For an all-over lid color, I'm actually going to go in with Freshly Picked out of the Just Peachy palette and just set down that Smashbox primer. Oh, hey, if I didn't tell you guys, I put Smashbox primer on my lids. That set that down quite nicely. And by the way, before I go any farther, we can address the brows, and they're two different shapes. This one we will call Bethany, and this one we will call Shithead, because it would not listen. And that is what you call things that do not listen. So now it's time to go in to this palette. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we're gonna go in with Forbidden. Like I said before, we're just gonna put that right on the crease. We're gonna try to blend it out and see how nice it is. Next up, I think I want to start working Hooves into the crease, followed by Secret. I'm gonna work this one in more all over, and then concentrate Secret to the lower part of the crease. Just trying to build up. I was gonna go blue tones, and then I was like, no, I want me some pink tones today. I love them. Okay, so that is stunning. They both went on super effortlessly. They both blended really, really well. And I think for my lid, what I want to do is almost create like an ombre effect with the Sparkle, Magical, and Spark. I want to take, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about, and you'll obviously see it on my lid. But from the inside out, I want to start with Sparkle, which is that white color right here. And then I want to drift into whatever the hell this one was, Sparkle or whatever, and then end up with like this pink reflect. And I want to like take them and almost blend them out on my eye. I don't know how this is going to look yet, but that's kind of where we're going to go for it. Go for it, go with it, go something. So just so you guys know, like, I really have no idea what the hell I'm doing when I go into these videos any more than you know what you're getting into when you watch them. If anything, you probably know more because you saw a thumbnail and, you know, other stuffs, but I don't have any idea. So I got those on and they blended out effortlessly, and those three colors actually went really, really nicely together. I do feel like it needs something, you know me, a little dark on the outside. So I'm gonna take, if I can actually find my brush, and I'm gonna take this brown shade down here, this dark brown shade. I'm gonna pack just a little bit of it onto the outer V and kind of see if I can not so much smoke it out, but just darken it up and give a little bit more definition to that area. Just a little something like that. Doesn't take much time. Quit turning me yellow, lights. But just enough that it kind of smokes out the look without like making it smoky. I don't like to leave like super, super bright colors that are all the way out. If it's up to me, actually, I might even grab a little bit of like a black and maybe add on the outer V, because that's like to me, that just sets off the whole tone. I do want to take a fluffy crease brush real quick and grab, what's a good light shade here? And I'm gonna grab this Freshly Picked shade again over here. And I know I've talked about this in another video, but I like to blend my crease color all the way up just to make it look as seamless as possible. Normally I put on a brow bone highlight first, but I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to like blend out that purple without it being a problem before I added the brow bone highlight. You guys, I think so much of what I say, first of all, I know that I do makeup like really, really weird. A lot of people, I get a ton of comments from people that are like, why do you do this? Like, this doesn't make sense. And I know that a lot of what I do doesn't make sense. And if you guys are curious, I can totally make like a quirk video where I talk about like why I do things the way that I do, or if you guys want to know, like, you could leave it in the comments and I'll address them. I don't have any problem with that. I feel like makeup is super, super unique or specific to the individual person. I know that I've seen people do makeup and I'm like, are you drunk? Why the hell you do that? But it's what they like, or they have a reason for it. Most people have a reason for how they do what they do. So I think that there's a lot of like personal aesthetic obviously involved there. I want to go in on that outer V. I think that this would be a great shade, the shade Fruity, which is like a dark purple down here, but it has like a small, tiny amount of reflect. I don't want to go in with that fluffy brush. My God, losing my damn mind over here. But I want to go ahead and tap a little bit of that onto the outer V as well. Okay, a little something like that. And I think for the lower lash line, I'm gonna do this purple closest to the lashes, and then I'll smoke it out with this periwinkle on the bottom. Ooh, but like not too much, but just a little. Ooh, child. This gonna look good. Where's my smudge brush? Brush. Okay, a little something like that, and I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on camera, but it's smoked out to be like the most beautiful, like purple periwinkle ever, and I'm obsessed. So I am gonna go ahead, I literally just like came back on to leave again, but I'm gonna go ahead, I am going to put on the liner, the mascara, and then lipstick, and because I look naked without lipstick, and then I will come back on. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on these, and we will go from there. So hold on just a second, let me put on the rest of the face so I can look and feel human, because right now I feel like an alien a little bit, like it's coming together, but I still feel a little crazy. So hold on just a second, let me finish up, and we will conclude this bad boy. Okay guys, I got everything on my face. I did go in and do an ombre lip today, so no, you're not seeing things. Like, it looks a little intense. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but I did like do a super cute little like purpley ombre, and it's so like out of my zone. I normally would never do something like this, but I thought I'm wearing a unicorn palette today and fake lashes, so if there's a day to do it, today's the day. And I went in with the two new liquid lipsticks from Too Faced that were part of the I Want Candy collection, Tropical Punch and Melted Ice Cream. As you guys know, if you saw that video, if you did not, you really should. It's like probably 1 or 2 or 3 down on this channel. I did that one and the other Too Faced launch the day, 2 days, 1 day apart, like one then the next, you know, one then the next page. I don't know why that was so difficult to like get out, but I've been kind of working with that stuff, so you'll see it intermittently here for the next 2 weeks. But my final thoughts on these shadows, you guys, is honestly, the thing about Karity shadows that you need to remember is that I have not personally had any bad experiences with them. As a brand, I haven't had any problems, and as my personal collection, which if you've seen my other videos on my channel, I can link them down below. I have done 2 other Karity videos, like I said. Wow, none of my words are coming out correctly. And each time I have had a lot of luck with their shadows, and I'm kind of blown away at the fact that they are able to put out such nice quality and not sacrifice, or not make you pay more and sacrifice quality. The only thing that I think that they sacrifice a little bit on is packaging, and I've said that before, just because they are cardboard, but even that is so stinking cute. And you guys, at the end of the day, for 25 bucks, both of these palettes are really, really worth it. I think it has a lot to do with your personal aesthetic. If you're wanting an everyday look, if you're wanting something that you can smoke out, you know, a bunch of different ways. I think that so many of these oranges are absolutely brilliantly beautiful. Especially, I was talking earlier about the, no, not that one, about the Just Peachy one from Too Faced, and I'm obsessed with some of these orangey colors in here. But then I got thinking, like, what about this I Want Candy collection, right? Well, this butterscotch shade, I am obsessed with that, and so I was kind of like looking and playing around with it a little bit, and like, it's not the same exact shade, but it's almost like a hybrid. This is it over here, and it's almost like a hybrid of this one and this one, but it's matte, and this one's a shimmer, and this one's a matte. So I think that you would actually be able to find a lot of the colors that you would be looking for in like these 2 new release palettes, which again, super, super expensive, but I definitely, oh wow, that's like almost the same exact color. Hold on just a second. I just like stunned myself a little. You guys, I love it when I stumble onto things that make me feel so good about myself. So I just found literally my two favorite shades in this I Want Candy palette are these 2 orange shades right here. And then I want you to look at what I just found. Okay, so those are those 2 orange shades, but look at the shimmer one. This is obviously the Karity palette. Like, those are almost the exact same. And then this orange, you could pull almost any of these, like this little clump right here, to get that. So I feel like this palette has a ton of dupes or a ton of workability. Instead of spending, you know, $80 on these 2, you could spend $25 and get a lot of the same shades once this is back in stock. And I just think that it's crazy awesome how good this palette is. The quality is outstanding. Again, I didn't really get to use it too much. Maybe what I'll do is, because in this video I used the Unicorn Dreams palette the most, if you guys want to, comment down below and I will do maybe a get ready with me. I have have a ton of all new products, I could do a get ready with me all new products, and then I could use this as my eyeshadow palette if that's something you would want to see. That way you could still get to see it in use, because I didn't really get to like use it enough that I would consider it used. So and then we could do it that way and you'd still get to see it in action. But I definitely wanted to mention, like, all of the shadows I've seen in these two palettes, I honestly think that not all of the shadows obviously are in here, but a ton of really close options or close enough options that for the money you would save, hell yeah, go with this palette. I can't say enough good things about Karity, regardless of if they send me PR one day or not, or if they sent me these or whatever, which obviously they didn't. But regardless of any of that, one of the things that I love about Karity is that they are such a high-end product at such an affordable price point that I'm like, I feel like these are great palettes. Whether you pick up this palette or any other ones, you're going to pick up a palette that is something that you can use if you're just getting started, something that you could put in your makeup kit if you're wanting to start doing professional makeup and you don't have a ton of money to put into products and you're like, oh, what should I use? The Nudes and Rudes palette by them is fantastic. They have mattes and frosteds and, you know, and they have so many other palettes in their collection that I think that you would be hard pressed to find a palette that you're like, yeah, I hate that. And I honestly think that they are probably the only brand that does not, or that I feel 100% comfortable being like, yes, I recommend Karity. And because it's hard when you look at a brand and you're like, oh, like, I recommend their lipsticks but not their blushes, or I recommend this but not this. And with Karity, I have consistently found that I love their blushes, their bronzers, their highlights, their eyeshadows, their brushes. Like, I have consistently found that I like every single thing that I've tried from them. So I think for me, you guys, just to sum it up, this is definitely a home run. I love these two palettes. I love how innovative this one is, and I love that they release them together to give people, like, they can have a pop from both sides. You can pick one or the other, and I just love the way that they mix these palettes. You can create a super dramatic eye or a calm eye, and I love that so much. And then this palette, like, what's not to love? So I'm gonna quit rambling because I ramble a ton and I've got other videos to shoot today. So I will oh my god, this hair, oh, my hair, you guys, like, look at this. It's just a giant, like, whoops. Oh, I'm going to go tame this because, sweet Jesus. I will talk to you guys all later. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. If there's any new releases you want to see, anything like that. I try to keep up on them, but if I miss one, let me know, and I will do a video because that's what I'm here for. So I will talk to you guys all later. I hope you have a great day, night, weekend, whatever. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Let's talk. Let's hang out. That's what the comments are for. And we shall talk very, very soon. Bye.